Hey everyone, welcome to Second Sight Tarot. I'm here to do the collective reading for the month of March 2022. Remember that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone, so please take what does and leave the rest. I've already meditated on the cards. I pulled some oracles just to get an essence of what the month looks like. We'll go through those now, and then I'm going to be using the Wandering Star Tarot. So I have a few oracles. I have the boxes here because I don't remember all of the names, but I have here, what are the names of this? The Universal Folk Tarot I'm using first. So the subconscious energy of this month is love. That came out a lot while I was meditating on this. And then the cards that I pulled kind of justified what I was feeling. So I thought that was really interesting. And in the new moon reading, I think that was kind of the focus of kind of sitting back, slowing down, self-care, self-love, and also connection to, global consciousness and our human family and connecting with that too. So just because of what's going on in the world today. So anyway, the subconscious energies at the bottom of the deck when I was, after I shuffled, is compassion, which is a 31. It's nurture, giving, love, and life. So to me, this is all about, this is a 31, which turns into a 4. And this is all about having, really manifesting this type of energy of like really feeling stable within oneself to be able to give. That's kind of the energy, the essence I'm getting. It's like, compassion is like, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and really understanding what's going on in someone's life and not judging that so much. But what I'm getting here, it's like, as far as numerology with the 4, it's like finding stability within oneself, like really getting to know yourself or ourselves enough to be able to put ourselves aside to understand what someone's going through, if that makes sense. Like the more we know ourselves and the more we're comfortable with ourselves, the less we judge and the more we don't throw that type of energy out. I've been choking on every video, so I'm going to keep drinking water so I don't have a fit like I did in the new moon reading. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm feeling. This is such a beautiful card. I love these cards a lot. Universal Folk Oracle. I looked at the bottom of the deck and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what's going on. We also have uniqueness, unique, perfect self, and honor. And I totally feel that exact same thing. So if this is not only for universal consciousness and love, this is also really standing into our power, being creative, lighting our fire. I'll let you see the card. Really understanding the self, connecting with the self. There's a lot of growth happening for a lot of people. This is really paying attention to the spiritual aspect of your life, like you as a soul, not just as a human body, and what those needs are within oneself. Like why are we called to do the things that we're doing? Are we lacking that? Are we not really focusing on what is pure in our hearts? I want to be this and I decided to do this because I thought it was the right thing to do, and not really following your path and what you were really passionate about, that kind of stuff. Like not really following the soul's path as what it really, really, really wants to do inside. So I feel like this card is saying like, really stand into your creativity, really stand into your power, really stand out from the rest. Don't care what people think, really being comfortable with your uniqueness, and that we are all unique, but actually one and the same too, depending on where you're looking at it or how you're looking at it. So realizing that you're perfect right where you are right now today, and not judging yourself, and really honoring who you are, and who you want to be, like honoring your future self too, and your past self, of all of the traumas that we went through and all that kind of stuff. So excuse me, this is really honoring yourself and like kind of like being creative in the next steps of where it will lead you and how you will get there. So I really love this card. It's really pretty, and it totally resonated with where I am in my own life and what I'm seeing around me as a body worker and like, Reiki teacher, like we see such transition within the weeks that we work with people in our classes, and it's just, I don't know, so mind blowing how people really shift when they have this stillness. And that's what the new moon reading was all about, like slowing down, looking at it from a different perspective, like just resting the mind and letting yourself be present. And I think that is key here to like learning who you are, being patient with yourself, and just slowing down the world around you and sending love and light right now, because that's what we need to focus on. I think that's why this is coming out the way it is. So, excuse me. All right. The next we have Threshold, which is a 14, which breaks down to a 5. And this is perception, surrender, dissolve, and illusion. This is perfect for me right now about surrender. Okay. Well, perception to me, this is like about how we perceive the world, what we think it is and what it is not. Like, this is kind of the moon aspect, the full moon aspect. I know it's a new moon coming up, but the full moon aspect of illusion and fear and intuition and stuff, and really connecting to your intuition and not allowing fear to dictate what you see and how you see it. And this is really surrendering to the control and just surrendering to yourself, just to be who you are, and like whether it's like illusion of what's going on in the world, or illusion of like who you think you are, or what people think of you, or how you perceive people, or how you perceive situations, like really looking at things as they are. And I think I even said that in the new moon reading. I think this is definitely trickling. They're feeding off each other, because that's half the month you're going to be focusing on that energy. So, excuse me. So that's the energy coming from the Universal Folk Tarot, or Oracle, excuse me. Put this over here so I can focus on that. And then we have, which I love these. These are Star Codes Astro over here, and then we have. I'm sorry, I'm the worst. Moonology manifestation cards. Did I? Yeah, these are the ones. Okay. And then we also have these, which are the Sacred Rebels. Okay, I'm like using a million of them, so I can't keep up. So the Moonology manifestation cards, I really like these. I used to use the other ones, but I just, it's time for change a little bit. So first quarter moon in Capricorn we got, but it says unleash your kindest self. And this is totally going along with what we were talking about love and getting to know yourself a little bit, and just seeing the softer side of yourself. This is to like self-love first of all, but also compassion, and just like showing the world. We need the energy to balance out right now, so it's like showing love and gratitude and love and light into the world, and just being kind to the people around you. That balances out energies, and I think it's really important right now. So this is what I will be focusing on as well. So unleashing your kindest self to yourself and to the people around you, and how people perceive you, and just softening your essence a little bit. That's what it's asking. So, and then we have the new moon in Libra card, which is now you are loved. And I'm telling you, like, the whole theme is about finding balance within this. But now you are loved. And I feel like when you do this work of being kinder to yourself and being more compassionate towards others and to yourself and to animals and plants and life and the earth, and really appreciating who you are without judgment, of being appreciative of your uniqueness and like who you are. There's a humbling, there is an ego check, and there's also this letting go of other people's judgments on you and your own judgments on yourself, and harsh words that we use on ourselves a lot. So it's like, just kind of the illusion of what we think things should be, just to soften that and just know that you're loved, whether it's to yourself, or like, I love you. Like, I always try to send out love and light to people. I know behaviors might get in the way of us loving each other, but I think deep down inside, that's like what life is all about, is about love for self, love for others, and living on this planet together and not so segregated and separate. Like we are all one, using all one energy source and the same oxygen. And I think we need to really reevaluate what our purpose here on earth is. And I mean that from a very deep place. Like I've been crying a lot because of what's going on in the world, and how we treat each other. And it's time to change that because it's getting disgusting. It's always been disgusting, I think, but now it's like something needs to shift, you know. And here's an opportunity where there's a shaking of the, like everything, everything's being stirred up, and we can either go back to old patterns, like we seem to be, or we can shift them. So that's kind of what I'm getting here. And then we have restore and replenish, getting the rest we need. You know, like really, this is also taking alone time. This is also going into hermit mode. This represents a lot. It represents like the Four of Swords to me. I like resting the mind. This represents, you know, the Four of Pentacles to me. This is, you know, like, I know this is not even a four, but this is what it reminds me of. It's like, just sit on everything and bring things to a halt. You know, it's like, save your money, save your energy, rest the mind, rest the spirit, connect with earth, connect with your present being, you know, and what's around you, and just replenish the energy that we are wasting every day complaining about each other, and you know, stress and anxiety and work and money and like all these things that life is about. It's really not. It's not how it can be something different, is my point. But we need this energy to save so we can be there for each other and be our best selves and the kindest to ourselves, just like these cards are saying. And I totally resonate with these. Really beautiful cards. All right, I'm going to put these over here. And then we're going to go to the Star Codes Astro. So I'm learning astrology. I'm trying to get more comfortable. I have a numerology cheat sheet, and like I try everything to kind of bring the astrology there because I think it's very relevant and very important and very dead on. So the more I follow it, the more I'm like, holy crap, it's so right. Anyway, so we have the Libra, which is finding balance. This was a very big theme in the new moon reading. So this is finding balance within all of the energy that you exert in the world, like your work, relationships, time for yourself, your children, your creative outlets, you know, like your artistic outlets, and like your passions in life, like just finding a nice harmony with all of those things, you know. The sevens are also about like reflecting on those things, reflection of what needs to be in balance, like really looking at those things and saying, okay, I need to like add a little bit more to this and take a little bit more from that. So I think that's a really important thing when you're dealing with things in your life, to find like a nice harmonious thing, and also figure out what you want to take away and what you want to bring in, as far as like, you know, assessing things in your life and like maybe changing things to bring in rituals and to bring in a daily routine that's more healing for you, you know. So we also have Venus, which is beloved. Venus is the love planet, which I think it's like, holy crap, this is so great that this came out. This is also a 3, which is about creativity and inner growth and attaining a spiritual awareness or like practice, or connection to your spiritual world of some sort. But I think this is all about love and loving yourself, finding balance with where you need to bring more self-care in and more care for others, and like whether it's volunteering or being there for a friend in need, you know, stepping outside of your busy life to like do something for someone else, or give it to yourself, you know, give self-care and love to yourself. And then we have Virgo, which is digest. A lot of things came to me when I was looking at this card. I'll let you see it. It's also a 6. And 6s are all about how we communicate to each other, compassion, deep emotions, number one thing is like compassion. That stuck with me with the 6, and how we digest it. You know, like how does our body digest the behaviors around the world, and how does it manifest in our bodies, and how do we carry it? That's what I see in this card. Not only the food that we eat, but like what we see, what we feel, what we touch, what we don't have in our lives. Like, how does this all play a role in how our body digests stuff? Whether it's from the mind, the heart, any of the chakras, or even just like how your physical body digests food. And you know, like, what are you thinking about and what are you talking about when you're eating? And then that energy goes into your body as well as the food that we're eating. Is it healthy? Is it processed? Like, you know, a lot of us, I mean, especially how the world is now and how it's about to be. You know, and it's funny that we have wheat here, because a lot of this resources are going to be coming to a stop for a little bit. So it's very interesting how we digest things. So this is just inviting you to look at your food for thought. Like, you know, you are what you eat, you are what you think. The people you surround yourselves, those things, that energy is digested into your body. And how does it play out? How does it cause dis-ease in the body, or how does it play out in your health? So that's what I'm getting from that. All right, so I have a 5-card spread. We're going to do reflect. I'm using the spread deck. What to reflect on, the blockages or what's blocking us, how we can change this, or what change is happening right now. Excuse me. Attention needed, and advice from spirit. So where are my cards? I'm just going to move these over. So what are we needing to reflect on right now? What to reflect on right now? Queen of Swords. You know, this is insane. A lot of Queen of Swords lately, and Queen of Wands. They both have been playing out here. Excuse me. Let me go for what's blocking us right now. What's blocking us collectively from March 2020. Justice. Balance. Finding balance. That's the blockage that was in the new moon as well. Not justice, but like not having balance. Go do that again. I wasn't asking. Just shuffle. It's like what is out of balance in our lives, or what is taking over, or what is tipping that scale? You know, is it? I mean, even if it's a good thing, it's like when there's things out of balance, whether it's too good or needs improvement, it could throw a lot of things off balance. So the change that we need, what change is needed or happening right now? What change is needed? We'll stick with what change is needed. The 9 of Swords. What fell out is the 6 of Pentacles, which is give and take. I literally just spoke about this before. So what change is needed to like really evaluate. We'll get into this. But we'll get into it. I'm not going to jump the gun. It's interesting. But I'm glad. And the sun came out too, so that's really good. Sorry, I just jumped the gun here. I should have started with that. Actions needed, please. For the collective. Sorry. Can't take half the deck. A lot of actions are needed for improvement right now. But one thing at a time. So actions needed, please. Thank you. The Lovers. Hello. I can't make this up. And advice from Spirit, please, for the collective, March 2022. The Ace of Wands. New beginnings. Bottom of the deck, the Mother's Star, which is interesting. It's a yes. I still have to learn, like, this is an extra card. I'm going to ask, yes, what? The Temperance, which is finding balance. I mean, it's more than that. There's a lot of healing going on. But it's just interesting because that came out of the new moon as well. Okay. I don't know why I'm choking. Okay. So what are we reflecting on right now? The Queen of Sword energy, which is what is the truth in your own life and in the world? Like, no, let me show you the card. The Queen. The Queen of Swords. So it's like, you know, really standing in your power and really knowing and being discerning about things and how you process information. You know, it's also about like really being ambitious about what you want to create or what you want to plan or how you want to see the world. And really standing in your inner strength here. You know, the swords are all about the mind and mental stuff, you know, too. It's like really having trust and knowing truth, your truth, standing in your own truth. That's what I'm sensing from this. It's like believing the things that you think and the things that you say, owning them and having truth to them, making sure that they're honest and that you are being true to yourself and to your beliefs and to what you stand for. That's what I'm getting from that. I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers here. Excuse me. I am using this. I cannot say that. I can't even read this thing, but it's a magical oracle. Got it on Amazon. They're very cool. I'll show them to you. Here are the bags. I did put these in my my collection video. Okay, Queen of Swords. Exploration. One more, please, for Queen of Swords. Support. Oh, there's another one. Ooh, the heart. Connection. This is, okay, off the bat, I feel like this is how we can, let me show you the cards. Here's the heart. Here's the ship, which is exploration. And here is support, pillars. Right off the bat, what I'm getting here is exploring ways that we can individually come together and find more self-love for oneself and how we can unite as a team to sail this ship into, like, I don't know, I just kept seeing, I see like the heart kind of going on this path. And although there's turmoil and there's like conflict and there's like separation and all this kind of stuff, like how do we support each other? That's right off the bat how I get what I get from these. To me, this is about searching for truth within the heart. You know, like what is our heart desire? Like what is our heart's truth? And how can we find it? How can we explore different ways to support each other and to support ourselves within that realm? So really beautiful on that. I like to collect these and use them again. All right, so now we have what is blocking us, or the blockage. We have justice, which I said off the truth, like, or right from the beginning. It's like what's blocking us from moving forward is balance between all things, or not even seeing what is like, for instance, what's coming to me right now is like over shopping. I buy lots of tarot cards. I mean, like, I know that's an obsession and I know that's like an imbalance. There's something I'm searching for, right? Like the answers I'm searching for. Let me find the perfect deck that I can read really well. Like that's an obsession, right? That's just a perfect example of like being unbalanced and like knowing that all I need is one deck and I can find the answers within that one deck. But it's like, this is just an example of myself, how I see that blockage. It's like, yes, like I keep buying all these decks and now I have so many decks I don't know which one to use, and there's like my blockage, right? So there's this sense of equality too, like, you know, what's blocking us in the world, if you're looking at this as world events, what's blocking us in the world right now is not feeling like we're all equal. And that's a huge problem, like believing that one is better than the other, a different group is better than the other. And that makes no sense to me whatsoever, like, because we're all human and we all deserve the same rights, right? I mean, it makes no sense to have separation like that. So it's like that is a huge blockage from the world becoming a better place, if we're looking at this worldly. If you're looking at this individual, finding balance individually, like what in your life is setting you off balance? What is it, like indulgent, or is it like self sabotaging, self-doubt, fear? versus like not fear, like standing in your power. Is it feeling deflated? Is it money? Like what is not in balance in your life that's causing this blockage of like standing in your truth and having ambition to like move forward, really standing in your power, knowing it in the mind. So like really having strength, inner strength to like know that you can do this. um that's what I see here. So let me pull a card that's blocking this, please. 3 cards. Here's the bowl for resistance. I'll show it to you. What's blocking us from seeing this or finding balance is resisting change. Some of us don't see it, but a lot of us do. A lot of us are not grounded. Like this is the root, this is the tree. It's like not rooting ourselves deep enough. First of all, to be connected to the earth. Off the bat, that's what came up for me, is not being connected to earth at all. So being so disconnected from that is basically being half disconnected from self, because we are one of the earth, but also just not being grounded, too busy, too much going on. And that's what even the new moon was just like, take a step back, rest and chill. And we've even said this here. So we have like, taking care of yourself and resting. And we have illumination. This is kind of, to me, this is like the hermit, of going inward and doing some quiet time to realize like what needs to be illuminated in your life, like what needs to be seen. That's also one of the cards that I was seeing, illusion. Like when you're in the dark and you're so busy and there's no light illuminating a situation, you can't see it. So that's kind of what I'm getting from being blocked. So resistance is a huge one too. Resisting to change, or resisting to even acknowledge that change needs to be there. Which brings us to our next thing, which is change. What change is needed? Well, you have the 9 of Swords. We have the 9 of Swords, sorry. The 9. The 9 is all about like attainment and fulfillment. And how to get it, and sometimes that keeps us having anxiety and fear and stress and worry. And I think that finally needs to get to change, like what's so important in life? Like what's important to you? Like, is all that worth not sleeping at night? Or maybe we can just cut all that off, what I just said, and just say like what needs to change is like how to deal with the anxiety. Like tools that you can use to relieve some of the worry and anxiety. Because anxiety and worry and stress is only about being in the future, thinking the future. You're not being present when we're like that, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. It's like every time I have horrible anxiety, it's because I'm thinking of the future, of the fear of the future, and that's not being present. So the things that we can shift and change right now is finding ways to relieve some of the anxiety and stress and worry, like meditation, or just even taking walks. Sometimes it's not so much like you have it under control, but like energy builds up because we're not moving enough, or we're not getting enough exercise or something. So taking walks helps, like brisk walks, or quick walks, and meditation, even just like singing bowls on like music, turning it on if you don't have it like physically in your hands. Guided meditations, just placing your hand on your heart and just taking a few deep breaths, breathing in through the crown and out through the feet a few times. That just brings you right to the present moment, right into your body, and grounds you at the same time. So change. How do we support that 9 of Swords, please? Half the deck. A lot needs to be changed within the world today. Oh, we have the Reef, which is honor. To me, that just means like honoring ourselves a little bit more. Self-care, self-love, taking care of ourselves, nurturing our needs a little bit more, we have, so I'm not going to take this one because I don't know, it just jumped out weird to me. That's why I looked at it. Boundaries. That's a big one, I think. Honoring your boundaries. Maybe some of us are not setting boundaries, and that's what's worrying us. Like, people are taking advantage of our energy and not like it's depleting, or it just causes you havoc because you're not like claiming your power. It makes you feel powerless, or it can. I'm not saying it does, but just honoring yourself a little bit more. Really knowing that you're the shit, and without ego, of course. You need it a little bit, but we have direction, the staff. This is, the wands to me. It's like this is our passion, our drive, our spark of life. Like, where are we going with this type of energy? And then we have the loyalty. This is, to me, is about lighting your own fire, your own direction, about where you want to go and no one else's ideas. Like, this is what I want. This is what I need. And really being loyal to yourself or to your partner or to whatever this means to you. This could be like a project or creative thing, like really being loyal to it. And then we have devotion. It's funny, that's what came out earlier. So I guess it was meant to come out, but I wasn't feeling it when it did. The flag, devotion. So really being devoted to your cause, to your whatever that spark is for you and that drive is for you, like really being devoted to that direction and that path that you're taking. And I think if you really stand true to yourself, and maybe that's what's causing some people to have anxiety. So just finding tools to have to calm that anxiety, lavender, like Epsom salt baths, like things to relieve some of that and be a little bit more present. It might help you relieve some of that stress. And it's interesting because I pulled, now we're going into this, okay? I pulled the Nine of Swords, and then I wanted to reflect on what that meant. We have the Six of Pentacles, which was give and take. So this is finding like the karmic cycle of energy and yin and yang, and like really finding a nice balance and harmony with the energy you give and receive and nurture. So, this could be like, family ties. It could be money exchange. But I feel like, to me personally right now, for some it could be money for sure. About receiving money or giving money or being generous with your money, but just having this in and out cycle of energy flowing to create more abundance with it, whether it's energetic exchange, currency, or like physical, like material stuff. But I think that in order to find a nice balance, see, we have a Reiki triangle in our school. We teach Reiki, and it's like a 12-week program. It's really awesome. I took it as a student. I loved it. So my wife and I run the school, and I love our triangle. It's like, and this is, you could put anything in here. So it's like give Reiki to yourself, receive a session, and give a session. So there's like this fine balance between nurturing, taking care of yourself, giving and being compassionate to others, and giving and being compassionate to yourself. This is what I see in this card. And then you have, and this I think will help with anxiety and worry and all that stuff, because you're nurturing yourself, you're giving yourself space. And then you have the Three of Swords here. So I do think there, for some of us, maybe there is some heartache or some grief that we're going through, or like some kind of healing that is happening right now within our hearts that are causing us to be up at night. For that, just to make sure you nurture yourself a little bit more and give yourself some self-care that you need so you can heal faster, and it just takes the edge off a little bit with how much pain that could cause. And then at the end, it's like we have the sun, which is bringing illumination to all of these things. Whatever is happening here, I feel like it might come to an end at the end of March here. Like something might lighten up. So, I feel like if once we start to give this exchange of energy between each other, or whatever currency you're working with here, healing past wounds and heartache, really looking at those things and healing them, will bring better days to come. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's like things will be lighter and life will be a little easier. And I do see this in this month to come, even in the new moon reading. They said that, like, the planetary alignments of three planets, I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like I lose it as soon as one thing comes. Oh, it's right here. I know it was Uranus, conjunct Uranus and Jupiter are all aligned with the moon during the new moon, and it creates like it's a really nice, it's a great alignment together, and I think that's where the sun comes from. So I think hopefully by the end of the month of March, things will lighten up a little bit within whatever you're dealing with. But we have to do some of the work, I think, to help it along. That's just what I see. But I love the sun, and I'll show you the sun card. I love that. Okay. So we have attention needed. We have the Lover's card. I mean, we just sat there in the beginning saying this is what is the essence of this reading right now is about self-love. Love between you and something else or someone else. Whether it's a relationship, a partnership, a project, a work relationship, whatever it is that you are investing in, something that really is like something in the soul. This is the attention needing is to focus more on that energy. Focus more on love. Focus more on the union between the thing, you and that thing or person or place, whatever that looks like to you. And really like trying to come in harmony and balance with that. So that's the attention needed. Like really focusing on love right now. The world needs it. It needs you to do that. Like I really feel that in my heart. We need to put some love into the world right now. And it starts with here. So really focusing on yourself and giving yourself love, that eventually trickles out. Because I feel like we're all connected by this web of consciousness. And if you're sending that message out, that is going into the ethers to send it out. So it happens with one person at a time. So focusing on yourself. What falls on this is the rose, which is a promise. And it fell right on the card of the Lovers. So whether this is a relationship of yours or to yourself, it's really important to focus and promise that you're going to make an effort. I think it's really needed, in my opinion. So that's just the energy. It's a rose. It's really interesting. I'm going to leave that there because I think it's pretty. All right, so now we have advice from Spirit. We have the Ace of Wands, which I'll show you in a second. We have, and then to clarify that or to add to that, we have the Temperance card and the Mother Star, which was yes. I have that above, so I will ask. Oh, I'm sorry. This was the extra card that came out, and yeah, it was the Mother Star, which is yes, and then I clarified that with Temperance. So sorry, I had it up here and I moved it. Okay. We have the Ace of Wands here. This is the Ace of Wands is just like that card that I said. I have to show it to you now. I shouldn't put it back in the deck. I like to see if it comes out again for different areas, so that's why. But it was literally a wand, and it was that spark, the one that I was talking about, the spark. If it comes up, I'll show it to you. It's the same energy there. And this could be in your career. This can be like traveling somewhere or doing something abroad or doing so. I mean, maybe not right now, but it could be even online. It doesn't have to be physically moving or going somewhere. But I just think the energy there is like this new spark, this new beginning, this new like inspiration or this new energy that is happening or this new enthusiasm that's happening with the wand. Ace of Wands. So advice from Spirit is maybe focusing on these new things, on this new beginning or this enthusiasm, really paying attention to like the energy that you feel with this and kind of make that grow and be the priority. It might help you get out if you're in a rut or if you're feeling low or if you don't even feel like any of this, like maybe that will kind of start things off. Excuse me. Maybe will give you the inspiration to like make something shift. But that's coming from a spiritual, like that soul level, like of like passion and fire and, something that comes in deep. So can you please clarify? Yeah. We have the Reef again, which is honor. Really honoring, this to me is like really honoring what you're worth and who you are and what you can bring to the table. That's what that means to me when it comes to the Ace of Wands. We have balance, the scales, the Justice card again. This is finding balance with this energy and making sure that you're putting it in the right place, that you're acknowledging that this is even here, this energy is here. Familiarity, it's the home. So this could be in the home. This energy is brought to the home, whether it's like maybe some people are working from home, or maybe your home needs a little bit more attention, or this energy here, or this ambition or whatever is coming from a very deep place, like at home as your temple. It's like spiritually driving you. That could mean that too. So, and then I pulled the Mother Star. Yes. I don't really get that a lot, so I haven't really looked that up. But I've asked what was the yes to, and it's balance, the temperance, or temperance. So to me, that right off the bat, that is like yes. Like I think that I'm telling you to find balance, and do things in moderation. And yes, this is like a lot of healing and self-healing. There's also a snake. To me, this is a lot of self-healing too. In this card, just from looking at it, what it looks like to me. Healing your temple, finding balance in your life. Again, you have like the scales here, and you have the temperance card. It's like this is about finding balance within your life, of where you are putting your energy, what needs to be adjusted. So advice from Spirit, that's to me what it's saying. So let me pull some self-care cards, and I'll send you on your way. Again, if this resonates with you and you like these readings, if you would like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. It helps grow the channel, and I really enjoy doing this. I know I've been absent. We're selling our house, and there's just been so much going on, and I had to put my station here back together. But all of that is appreciated. And I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for people watching. So, March, these are hard to, these are the newer ones. So, connect with crystals to me, and I'll show you these cards. I think this is more about connecting with earth energy or crystals, if that's important, like if you have crystals, but it's just earth energy in general. So whatever that looks like for you, patch of grass or patch of dirt or plants in your house or whatever, a nice walk in nature, build strength. We'll do one more. And we have ground yourself, which is, I feel like I said that in the new moon reading 100 times, but this is really rooting yourself, grounding yourself, knowing who you are, being still. This, if anything comes out of that, it's like finding ways to ground your energy so you can have less anxiety and worry. Really connect with the earth. Building strength could be like building your third eye, really going with your gut on things. What does your body feel when you think about something instead of what the mind is telling you? It's not always the best area to be. And connecting with crystals, which is to me connecting with earth energy. However you can get that. So anyway, have a really great month of March. I hope to see you soon, and take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and give some self-love. It's really important right now. I'll see you soon. Take care.